Hey, guys, and welcome to Got Verint. All right, so y'all already know that I'm doing this series, this deep dive on the Got Verint platform, and we're going deep 2024, okay? So I'm super excited to welcome to your forefront, introduce to some and present to others. I'm such a church baby. That's what we say in church, okay? But Jamie Meritt. Jamie, thank you so much for being our guest today on the bots. Okay. So we're talking all things bots, and y'all have so many. This is going to be like a series. Okay. Because y'all got a lot of bots. All right. So thank you so much for being with us today. Tell the people your role and, why give me something fun. Give me something fun that you want to tell us. What's your favorite food or something? Let the people know who you are.
Okay, wonderful. Thanks, Juanita. I appreciate you having me as well today. Very excited to talk to you about our bots and wherever else the conversation leads us. As you said, my name is Jamie Meritt. I'm a Chief Product Officer at Verint. That means I'm responsible for product and go-to-market strategy across my team and across the many applications on our Verint Open platform. Something fun about me, I really like board games in almost a scary way, like very complicated German board games. I play a lot of board games and video games. I tend to like complexity, so I think those are something I like. I do also love food. Though I recently had COVID and lost my taste, so food is less of a thing right now. But in general, I love eating all types of good food, and specifically like deli, because I grew up in New York and I can't get good deli down here in North Carolina.
Hmm. Now, I'm interested in this board game. What's your favorite board game?
Oh, that's a really hard question. So I really like a game called Great Western Trail. Is probably my favorite, I'd say. And you go between I think it's like Texas and Kansas City, and you're collecting cows along the way, and then you sell them in Kansas City, and it's it's just a really good, fun resource planning. I like planning and math and resources, and those board games have a really good way of bringing those together in kind of a fun, themey form factor.
Now that's interesting, being that you are at Verint, right? And you're the product man. That's so interesting and such a great role fit, right? As well. Like that's super cool. I'm always saying this, that everything that you need to complete your purpose and destiny in life is already in you. Now it may need to be cultivated. You may need some coaching or development, but it's already in you. And so some of the things that you already naturally love is that such a great fit for where you are in your
Yeah, it's very
current career path goal. Isn't that so cool?
I never actually thought about that. Is yeah, the types of games I like are really about optimization and forecasting and making very hard equations balance. And as an engineer at heart, I like solving those types of problems, and I made a career out of it. So it's a very good fit. And it's funny, I never even thought about that. So that's a good insight from you.
That's so amazing. All right, so let's hop in, okay? Give the people what they want. So for those of you that are tuning in, okay, just drop in the chat that, hey, I'm here, and let us know where you're tuning in from, okay? Don't be like that, okay? Let us know where you're tuning in when you're catching this ad, okay? Also, all right, if there's something specific about the Verint platform that you want to talk about, send me a DM. All right. Drop it in the chat or send me a DM so we can get it on the Got Variant series. Oh, thank you, Ryan. Shout out to Ryan and Lisa, okay, over the analyst team, for sending me my Variant mug. All right. So that's all my housekeeping. All right. Stay tuned for the rest of the shows that's in the lineup. So, Jamie, I wanted to talk to you specifically about the bots, okay? Because and that's what I'm calling them. I'm calling them the bots, okay? Because
I
like
dressed
over
appropriately.
say it again.
I dressed appropriately for the questions then.
You did. So I'm specifically calling them the bots because like over the last couple of years, you guys have come out with DaVinci, then you did Open CCast, and then just recently now we're talking about the bots, and it's like, oh my God, you guys are just innovating and coming out and following. The other thing that I think is super cool is that you're setting the tone as well as also then following the trend of what people need in this particular time and era as far as what workforce management looks like, as well as what operations needs from their workforce management people. So as I was thinking about the bots, I wanted to talk through, first of all, tell the people, how many bots does Verint have right now? Because the number goes up every day, I feel like.
It is a lot of bots. So we have about 40 bots available today in the Verint Open platform. And there's more, to your point, being delivered every cycle. I tend to think about them in, two different camps. There's kind of our agent bots, which are, helping the agent be much more effective on each and every interaction with the customer. So, helping them automate after call work, or helping them do coaching while they're on the call, or telling them just to slow down because I talk too fast. So my bot's always telling me to slow down, right?
And that would be me.
Yeah, exactly. Then the enterprise bots, and that's probably what we'll talk more about today, because it's those helps other roles in the enterprise, still in the contact center, supervisors, data analysts, forecasting and scheduling people. So there's bots are designed to do one thing, do it really well, help a specific person, and deliver measurable outcomes. So we got about 40 of them. They're doing lots of things for lots of different people across the contact center and beyond into the enterprise. And, there's new bots every day, to your point.
So it's almost like the equivalent of having 40 people that are working, just that don't need time off, and they can like really be really, really, really good at that one particular thing inside of the organization.
That is very much the mindset. It's I want every employee to feel like they have a team of bots around them supporting them. So, the team of one, or, I can't call it an army because that sounds a little too militaristic, right? But it is really that team that's behind you, augmenting your workforce, making your people much more effective because it's automating and helping them do their jobs better.
I love it. I love it. So, okay, another question I have. So we have 40 plus bots, and you guys are coming out with more every cycle. Other question I had was, how do you think the launch of the bots, right? Because this was the newer thing in the release. Again, as I track the timeline of like DaVinci, OpenCCast, bots, those types of things, how do you think the release of bots are changing the narrative around workforce management, changing that game for workforce management, the teams, as well as operations?
Yeah, definitely. I think the bots have really taken AI in a way out of the ivory tower, right? So it's AI has started off saying I kind of like complexity a lot, and I'm an engineer at heart, so I like AI that's big, powerful, really strong, and it is. But AI has taken a lot of the complexity out of AI for our users, for workforce management professionals, for operational teams in customer service. Because the bot is not only, using the latest and greatest in AI and trained on data and, really, awesome cosmic power to be like Aladdin, I guess, but they're also integrated into your workflow. Instead of you having to learn how to do something different to take advantage of AI, or learn the things that I want to talk about, like algorithms and which models are working better than other models, you don't have to worry about any of that. The bots, in a simple form factor, delivered directly into your workflow. You can trust that the bot uses the latest and coolest AI without you having to become an expert in the latest and coolest in AI to take advantage of it. So building them in a way that they integrate seamlessly into your applications, into your workflow, is really the trick in the bots. And it's also made our AI story a lot easy for, everyone to really understand and really see the value of. Because the bot does something, it does it well, it delivers discrete ROI. So instead of saying, this nebulous statement of I want to use generative AI in my contact center, I want to give you a bot that does X, and that X is worth you. And it makes it a lot easier to get the ROI of specific AI investments and not focus on the tech, but focus on the outcome.
Oh, I love that. That's a bar. Not focus on the tech, but focus on the outcome. Are you a Verint user? Are you looking for ways to drive adoption and optimization of your Verint platform? Or are you considering Verint as your platform of choice? Well, I would love to talk to you to discover your CX customer experience, EX employee experience, and your WFM goals. You can visit us at gotverint.com to book a discovery call where we'll dive deep into your needs. I look forward to talking to you soon. Okay. Anyway, cause I'll go. Let's run. All right. So, cause you see, you be trying to get me sidetracked, Jamie. You be trying to get me sidetracked. Okay. I love that. Focus on the outcome and not the technology. So let's talk about EDI. EDI is one of the bots that I want to talk about. All right. And I really consider this mission critical because it is the blood. It is it's everything for when we're thinking about workforce management. Data is critical to being able to forecast, to being able to create the right schedules in order to get better CX, EX, profitability, all the things, right? Data is that important. Can you share some insights on the elements of EDI and tell the people what EDI is?
Sure. EDI is Engagement Data Insights, which is a fancy name. It includes our Data Insights bot. So I'll take a step back and kind of explain a little bit about the Verint Open platform. Verint Open CCAS, we bring together all the data that's flowing through Verint applications and flowing through your ecosystem in our Engagement Data Hub. So all this rich workforce data, interaction data, customer experience data, all that comes together and is integrated inside the Engagement Data Hub. WFM data obviously is in there as well. So whatever you're using from Verint, the data is in one place and available in one place. So now, but God, data is still really hard to make sense of. And the way it used to work is you'd have very specially trained data analysts, and people that are spending a lot of time data wrangling. They use like Western words, I guess.
I love that, data wrangling. Yeah, because it's so funny that you say that, because I used to always tell my teams, like, listen, you got to make the data tell a story, because otherwise it's just like yelling out 3, 5, blue, orange. That's just data. Like, what does that mean? Give me context in that. So I love that you said that.
Exactly. How many times do you see a graph and like no one can tell you what it means? So it's how do I go from this data into insight? So I used to go to this army of analysts, and instead, so we use generative AI inside of our data insights bot to help you understand the data and to get answers to the questions that you have. Right. So the way it used to work is, I'd be an executive. I'd go and ask an analyst team, why is my AHT so different than my forecast? Or, why any contact center oriented questions. What are the best practices of my highest performing agents? Choose a question that you would ask and to help understand your operation. And this would be like a long project. And instead, what the Data Insights bot does is it understands the language of the contact center. It lets you ask a question in like a Google-like or ChatGPT-like interface. Tell me how my AHT is different than my forecast. And then it'll produce a graph and show you, or a video, and show you that data and show you that trend in that data and help you understand what does it mean. And sometimes also companies, people don't actually know what to ask. Right. So we've also taken, 15 different AI models, and we apply it to your data, and we look for anomalies. We look for differences in trends. We look for seasonality. We look for teams that are performing differently, other segmentation. So it's, in a way, we've democratized this data access and data insight, and that bot helps, a normal operational user get the value from the data and get the insight without having to employ an army of analysts, instead employing an army of bots.
I absolutely love it. One of the things, like, this is going to be another mic drop. You coming in here with all the mic drops, is understand the language of the contact center, because it is so critical that, it's like a French person speaking to somebody who speaks Spanish and they're talking two different languages. It's like, I don't I know you're a good person. I know what you're trying to do. You mean well, but because we're not speaking the same language, we can't make forward movement, right? We can't move towards a common goal. And so, what I love what you said about EDI is that it's taking all of this data, not just WFM data, but it's taking all of this data, right? And it understands the language of contact center. So now instead of saying Google it, right, I can Verint it, right? Like I can let me pull up this information and ask this question in a very contact center way. And it's going to know, and it's going to understand, oh, this is what you're trying, the end result, the outcome that you're looking for from an answer. So let me find this information and pull it together for you. That's chef's kiss. Okay. I get excited. All right. I get excited. All right. Calm down. Everybody calm down. Okay. All right. So next question I have for you, okay, is I'm glad that you said this because this leads me into one of my next questions. And we're almost done. How can current customers get the most out of EDI?
Sure, no, it's a great question. Well, data is the fuel for EDI, right? So you want to bring more data into the platform, whether that's just using WFM day to day, potentially using other Verint applications that you use alongside WFM, or bringing and ingesting more data into our engagement data hub. So as an example, there are a lot of external factors beyond just my historical trend that impact how I'm going to forecast and schedule, right? Insurance companies, weather is a major factor. For health insurance companies, disease rates and the time of year, and weather to some extent is also, a factor. So, bringing more data from your environment, connecting your data into EDI helps you get further and further insight. Obviously, we can do a lot with just WFM data alone, but bringing it together, we're a part of your data ecosystem. That's probably the best. I don't want to replace your data warehouse. I don't want to be your data lake, but I want to be a productive member of your data ecosystem. Get engagement data, which is really, really hard data to get, real-time behavioral data from, what is historically very, very siloed systems. I make it really easy to get that data together in one place and to get insight from it. So connect us into the ecosystem, help us bring that data together, help us drive insight. You said it yourself, data is the lifeblood of AI and of WFM. And the more data that's connected into EDI, the better insights I can deliver to you.
Yeah. And I'm always saying this, listen, we're always talking about AI, and that's because that's the latest and greatest, right? Not that it's new, but it's more accessible. Let's say that, right? And so since it's become more accessible, more people are talking about data, AI. And I'm like, listen, without data, you don't have artificial intelligence, you have artificial ignorance. And that's what you don't want. You don't want something that's artificial then being ignorant, becoming a hindrance to your operation. So you have to have data that's fueling it, so that and relevant data, right? So that's the other reason why I love that you said, it speaks the language of the contact center, because if I'm in operations or in HR or wherever that all this information is coming together for, giving me workforce management data may not be a relevant point to me. But because you understand the language of contact center, I can now ask you in a very Google-like way, right? Hey, can you tell me, what my attrition rate is for the last 3 months, right? And if I'm in HR and I'm trying to figure out hiring classes and all of those different things, this is now very relevant information to me. And I think that is amazing.
Yeah, I kind of want to riff on that for a little bit, just for a second, because you just gave me another good insight, which is, the problem used to be not enough data. Mm-hmm. And many companies still deal with not enough data being a big problem. Because to your point, AI is really nothing without data. AI is an algorithm without data. Data is what trains the AI to know what it's doing. And now with generative AI, sometimes the problem is too much data, right? It's trained on the internet, and doesn't really know about the contact center specifically or customer service specifically. So you're then, and it's subject to hallucination also. So then you're really trying to mold too much data into domain specific answers and data. So it's data, no matter what. Data, whether it's too little data or too much data, you can't get the right business outcomes from AI without understanding the data domain that you're dealing with. And that's,
Come on here.
I think, changed that game a little bit because everyone else used to just struggle to get data. Now they have this other somewhat orthogonal issue of I have way too much data and I need to actually train it to do what I care about.
Yeah, it's like drinking out of water hose. It's like it's way too much. It's overwhelming. I don't even know. Now I have analysis by paralysis. Or paralysis by analysis. Sorry, I jacked that one up. It's paralysis by analysis. It's like it's so much information, and I have to now find a way to put it in context. And that's
the key. Are they train on the right data and give you the outcome in for that person? If you're a supervisor, I'm going to talk to you like you're a supervisor. I'm going to understand the language you're going to use for me as a supervisor. That's really
absolutely. My last and final question. All right. How should potential customers, right? They're like, yes, I need to plug into this, I want them to plug into my data ecosystem, and I want to be able to gain more insights, and I want to just, start with EDI, what should potential customers be thinking about when it comes to their data and positioning themselves correctly so that they be able to be in a better position in the future?
I think something you said before that's very interesting is that in WFM, I think the users actually understand the importance of data. That's usually the first hurdle. Many people think of, I'm just using an application, it does some stuff for me, and data is not even, doesn't even enter their brain as one of the outputs of that application that has additional value. I think WFM people get that data and helps is the key to continuously improving your operation. Right. So for me to get the value out of EDI, start itemizing your questions. What do you want to know about your customer situation? What do you want to ask EDI? Not just the insights that I can deliver to you. Sure, I can give you dashboards. I can use AI models to tell you what's different about your data. But, what are you trying to figure out to improve your operation? What are the best practices of top performing agents? How am I going to get an extra, improve my customer experience and get an extra point in NPS or reduce my customer effort? Am I trying to drive containment in a self-service channel? So itemizing those questions, I can help you answer them with EDI, but I want to know what's important to your business. What outcome are you looking for? And then EDI can get you there. So you have to know what you're thinking, and what you're looking for, and you know your business better than I will.
Yes.
So maybe that's to get started.
Yeah, I love that. First, you got to have vision, right? We got to know where we're going and why we're going that way, and be able to articulate that in the form of asking questions. I have a acronym, always be curious, so ABC, yep. and it's about just always asking questions, and not for the sake of asking questions, but for the sake of remaining teachable, because I know that everything that I know, and I know a little bit, but in all that I know, I still can be learning and still improving. And when you're asking those questions, how can I improve NPS, and how can I do this? How can I then, starting with those questions, can then now put us in a better position to leverage those insights from the data that we have. I love that, Jamie.
Thank you. Now the best sign of an intelligent person is knowing that you don't know everything, and knowing that you have questions and being able to itemize those. And that's, always be learning. I fully agree.
Always be learning. Yep.
Good stuff. Thank you, Juanita. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Great time today.
Listen, that was so epic. First of all, thank you, Jamie, and the entire Verint team. But thank you so much, Jamie, for coming to hang out with us today and answer our questions around the EDI bot. Listen, if you have more Verint questions around the platform, the bots, DaVinci, all the different things, if you're thinking about Verint, let's talk about it. All right, until next time, guys, go be great and let's make impact. See y'all soon. Bye. Got Verint?